I'm sure that more than once you've had the same question as me. If I am a DevOps engineer, what will be my role in a company? How many responsibilities of DevOps will I have on a new project? And how can I provide the best solution for my client, thinking about performance, security, and cost savings? Hi, I'm Juan Carlos Sleiman, and I am so glad to be here one more time to answer those questions for you. So let's get into it. Before we start, it's good to remember that before DevOps, we have other positions with specific activities assigned. Our activities were divided between networking, security, system administration, and automation on the cloud. Now, all of these tasks have been merged into one position, a DevOps engineer. And once a new team adopts a DevOps culture, they gain the capability of address the client's necessities better. These needs can be summarized in the different responsibilities of DevOps that we are going to discuss next. CI/CD. Our activities nowadays are more related to this process than before, as everyone wants to push their changes at any time needed. That's why establishing a CI/CD process is the most advisable action for specific projects. Keeping in mind that it reduces the time these processes could take, makes the delivered product secure, and deploys it in the right system, reducing the cost and increasing performance. Tools like Jenkins, GitLab pipelines, CircleCI, and AWS Code Pipeline are good options that you can review. Automate repetitive tasks. Human mistakes can be made in your procedures, especially in repetitive activities. That can cause you to spend a lot of hours fixing those issues if you don't have enough information about what was done. Well, you can avoid those nightmares and keep your mind focused on improving other things by scripting those commands and repetitive tasks using Bash or Python. For instance, this will reduce the problems that could be caused by a typo that you can see at 3 a.m. Maintain and deploy infrastructure. We should have different environments to test new features or bugs that your app could have. And sometimes keeping an entire team working on one single environment, it's annoying because you could be testing some changes and whoops, new features and added to that environment, and your progress could disappear. In my experience, I prefer to launch different test environments as required, including enough resources to keep the app running with the new changes and remove those test environments once the team has finished with them. That's a capability that we should have. Deploy infrastructure through infrastructure as code tools and bring the environments that we need. Dev, QA, staging, or even production environments can be launched using tools like Terraform or AWS CloudFormation. Security and hardening. One of the most important responsibilities of DevOps that we should keep in mind, as I've mentioned before, is to have security in all of our procedures and final delivered products for our clients. That includes penetration testing, security audits, server hardening, and user security controls too. By the way, security is not just fixing vulnerabilities present on the server or application side. Your AWS account could be at risk if you don't follow the right policy alignments, best practices. One quick tip I could give you is to enable MFA or multi-factor authentication and remove administrator privileges for all your users now, because tomorrow could be too late. Cloud networking tasks. The majority of the systems that are accessible through the internet can be endangered due to the brute force attacks. Not just security improvements on applications and servers need to be applied. You must know how to interconnect different VPCs, keeping delicate data in an isolated place, and just the necessary resources accessible to the public in general. And of course, your team must need special access to the system through VPN services and distribute the connectivity between different virtual networks. This is something that a DevOps engineer can do. Dockerize open source applications. Packaging, deploying, and running your application is the summary of how you Dockerize an application. This is a common activity nowadays because it is the best way to keep the app running on any environment that can support Docker. Kubernetes Clustering. The current application deployment process has been modified, giving us different ways to handle many applications. Kubernetes is one of the systems that we can use to follow the DevOps cycle automatically. And every DevOps engineer should know how to operate with this system on different clouds, like Amazon EKS, Azure AKS, or Google GKA. Security compliance. Having information on the cloud could be a big risk if you don't know how to handle it in the right way. DevOps engineers should follow security best practices, provide documentation to support security claims, and meet HIPAA, SOC 2, or PCI compliance standards for your application. Application troubleshooting. Monitoring tools, investigation on determining issues, access file system logs, and everything that could be needed to find issues on the running applications and deliver a solution for our clients as soon as possible is part of our responsibilities of DevOps as well. We need to be prepared to fight against any kind of fire. Maintain and administer databases. All applications will need a database. Each database should be created and maintained in the best way possible to keep data secured and back up in the case something happens. That's a part of our activities for sure. Creating an environment where your database can be safe, secure, and ready to be used. Too many responsibilities of DevOps so far? Yes, I know, right? But following best practices in all the ways you can is really important to keep your application safe, secure, and cost optimized. Now that you know the most common tasks and responsibilities of DevOps, you can contact us to find the right engineer for your project. We have a pool of talented engineers that can help you make this real. I am Sleiman, and I will see you in the next video.